A security guard corners a black man in Beverly Hills' most exclusive jewelry store. The tension is thick. Other customers are staring. But then, Keanu Reeves walks through those glass doors. What happens next will make you believe in humanity again. Dr. Marcus Thompson had just finished a brutal 18-hour shift at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. His scrubs were wrinkled, his eyes bloodshot from exhaustion, but he'd promised his daughter he'd pick up her graduation gift today. She was becoming a nurse, following in his footsteps, and he wanted to get her something special. The moment he stepped into Cartier on Rodeo Drive, he felt the shift. The atmosphere changed like a storm cloud rolling in. Conversations quieted, eyes tracked his movement. The sales associates suddenly became very busy with their displays. Dr. Thompson had experienced this before, too many times, but today he was too tired to care about the looks, too focused on his mission to let it derail him. He approached the counter where delicate necklaces sparkled under perfect lighting. "Excuse me," he said politely to the blonde associate who'd been watching him like a hawk. "I'm looking for something special for my daughter's graduation. She's becoming a nurse." The woman's smile was as artificial as the security cameras tracking his every move. "Of course, sir. What's your budget range?" Before he could answer, a heavy hand landed on his shoulder. "Sir, I'm going to need to see some identification." Dr. Thompson turned to face the security guard, a mountain of a man with cold eyes and a badge that read Morrison. His voice carried the authority of someone used to being obeyed without question. "I'm sorry?" Dr. Thompson kept his voice level, professional. 20 years of emergency medicine had taught him to stay calm under pressure. "Standard procedure," Morrison said, though nothing about this felt standard. "We've had some incidents lately." The store went silent. Even the soft jazz music seemed to fade into the background. Other customers, women clutching designer purses, men in $1,000 suits, stopped pretending not to stare. Dr. Thompson reached for his wallet slowly, deliberately. His hospital ID badge swayed as he moved, the one identifying him as head of emergency medicine, but Morrison's eyes never left his face. "Dr. Marcus Thompson," he said, handing over his driver's license. "Is there a problem, officer?" Morrison studied the ID like he was deciphering ancient hieroglyphs. "Doctor, huh? What kind of doctor?" "Emergency medicine. I work at Cedars-Sinai." "Uh-huh," Morrison's tone suggested he thought Dr. Thompson had just claimed to be an astronaut. "And you're here to buy jewelry?" The question hung in the air like smoke. Dr. Thompson felt the familiar burn of humiliation rising in his chest, but he kept his voice steady. "Yes, for my daughter's graduation gift." That's when the brass doors chimed, and everything changed. Keanu Reeves walked in like he owned the place, which, given his net worth, he probably could have. Black jacket, jeans, boots, that unmistakable long hair and beard, but it wasn't his celebrity status that commanded attention. It was something else, an energy, a presence. He paused at the entrance, taking in the scene. His dark eyes moved from Morrison's aggressive stance to Dr. Thompson's forced calm, to the circle of onlookers treating this like dinner theater. Most celebrities would have turned around, avoided the drama, protected their brand. Keanu Reeves walked straight into it. "Excuse me," he said, his voice carrying that familiar gravelly warmth. "Is there a problem here?" Morrison straightened up, suddenly aware he had an A-list audience. "No problem, Mr. Reeves, just routine security procedures." Keanu's eyes narrowed slightly. He looked at Dr. Thompson again, and something flickered across his face. "Recognition?" "No, something deeper." "Routine," Keanu repeated. He gestured toward the other customers, all of whom were conspicuously not being asked for identification. Interesting routine. The tension in the room ratcheted up another notch. Morrison's face reddened. The sales associates exchanged nervous glances. Dr. Thompson stood frozen, watching this surreal scene unfold. Then Keanu did something no one expected. He walked directly to Dr. Thompson and extended his hand. "Dr. Marcus Thompson," he said. Not a question, a statement. Thompson's exhausted mind struggled to process what was happening. He shook Keanu's hand automatically, searching those familiar features for context. "I'm sorry, Dewey." "February 15th, 2019, Keanu said quietly. Cedars-Sinai emergency room, around 3 a.m. The memory hit Dr. Thompson like a freight train. The motorcycle accident. The actor who'd been brought in unconscious, helmet cracked, leathers torn, internal bleeding, possible traumatic brain injury. The paparazzi gathering outside like vultures. The hospital going into lockdown mode. He'd worked on that patient for 6 hours, stabilized him, saved his life, never spoke to the media, never sold the story, just did his job. "You," Dr. Thompson whispered. Keanu nodded. "You saved my life." The store had gone cemetery quiet. Morrison's grip on the ID card loosened. The blonde sales associate's artificial smile had melted into shock. "You never left your name," Keanu continued. "The hospital wouldn't give me your information. Privacy policies. I've been trying to find you for 6 years." Dr. Thompson felt the room spinning slightly. The exhaustion, the adrenaline, the sheer impossibility of this moment. "I was just doing my job," he said. "No," Keanu's voice was firm. "You were saving someone's son, someone's friend. You gave me 6 more years of life, of work, of love. That's not just a job." Keanu turned to face Morrison, and his voice changed, still calm, but with an edge that could cut glass. "This man," he said, "is one of the finest human beings I've ever encountered. He asks for nothing, expects no recognition, just saves lives and goes home to his family." Morrison was sweating now, the ID card trembling in his hands. "And you," Keanu continued, "are treating him like a criminal for having the audacity to shop while black." The words hung in the air like a verdict. "Mr. Reeves, you were just profiling a hero," Keanu cut him off. "A man who's probably saved more lives than you've had hot dinners." He turned to the sales associates, who were now clustered together like sheep facing a wolf. "Dr. Thompson wants to buy his daughter a graduation gift. She's becoming a nurse, following her father's example of service." His voice softened on those last words, then hardened again. "I suggest you help him find something beautiful." The blonde associate practically sprinted to the display case. What happened next was like watching a movie and fast forward. The entire staff mobilized to help Dr. Thompson. They brought out pieces that weren't even on display. The manager appeared from the back office, apologizing profusely. Morrison quietly disappeared, probably to update his resume. Dr. Thompson selected a delicate necklace with a small pendant shaped like a stethoscope. Elegant, meaningful, perfect for his daughter. When he reached for his credit card, Keanu's hand covered his. "My treat," he said simply. "I can't. You saved my life. Let me buy your daughter a gift. It's literally the least I can do." Dr. Thompson's eyes filled with tears he'd been holding back for years, not just from this moment, but from all the moments like this, all the times he'd been made to feel less than, all the times his service, his dedication, his humanity had been questioned. Keanu paid for the necklace, had it gift-wrapped, and handed it to Dr. Thompson personally. "What's her name?" he asked. "Sarah. Sarah Thompson. Tell Sarah that Keanu Reeves said she has an amazing father, and the world needs more nurses like her." As they walked out of the store together, Dr. Thompson finally found his voice. "Why?" he asked. "Why did you step in? Most people would have just—" Keanu stopped on the sidewalk. People passing by without recognizing the scene they'd just witnessed inside. "You know what I remembered most about that night in the hospital?" he said. "Not the pain, not the fear. It was your voice. You kept talking to me, even when I was unconscious, telling me I was going to be okay, that I had people who loved me waiting for me to come home." He paused, looking up at the California sky. "You didn't know who I was, didn't care. I was just another person who needed help. That's what real heroes do, Doc. They see people, not categories." Dr. Thompson nodded, understanding. "I never got to say thank you," Keanu continued. "For saving my life, yes, but also for reminding me what kindness looks like, what service looks like, what it means to be human." They shook hands one more time. Dr. Thompson got in his car with his daughter's gift, his faith in humanity restored. Keanu walked to his motorcycle, put on his helmet, and rode off into the Los Angeles afternoon. The security footage from that day was never released. The store employees were asked to sign NDAs, but stories like this have a way of spreading anyway. Because sometimes, just sometimes, the world works exactly the way it should. Sometimes the hero gets recognized. Sometimes kindness gets rewarded. Sometimes a man buying his daughter a graduation gift gets treated with the respect he's always deserved. And sometimes, if we're very lucky, we get to witness what happens when humanity shows up in a Beverly Hills jewelry store on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. Dr. Thompson's daughter Sarah graduated 2 weeks later. She wore her necklace, and when people asked about it, she told them it was a gift from her father and Keanu Reeves. The look of confusion on their faces was always worth it, because some stories are too good to explain. Some stories you just have to believe.